Hi Leo. Just wait till I move my camera. Sorry guys. So yeah, what I'm doing is a mid-month sort of update for the month of November. So thank you for all your lovely messages, Leo. I have to say they really have helped me through a very tough period of my life. So, oh, you get the milk and honey card. Should we just leave your reading at that? Milk and honey is the nectar, very much like the Empress card in the tarot. So hitting the milk and honey is like hitting that sweet spot in life. So I'm really hoping, Leo, that means there's some really good things coming your way. Boy, you deserve it. So let me have a look to see where the overall card, and we'll try and get an idea of where that's particularly manifesting. We're obviously in Scorpio season. Scorpio season is always about the shadow, about letting go, and then we go forward in Sagittarius. That's why Sagittarius is an arrow. So after we're in the cleansing, sometimes the darkness of Scorpio, we shoot that arrow into our future. The natural zodiac is a beautiful way of understanding life, okay? So let's find out what's going on for the beautiful sign of Leo. So you're my first reading of the day, so just give me a minute to get my focus and concentration. Boy, this Scorpio season seems to have been a long one. It's Mercury retrograde it's doing it, I think. So let's have a look. Please give me clear-cut messages for the sign of Leo. So you've got the Five of Swords behind you, okay? Well, Five of Swords, sometimes it can be a challenging situation. It's a card of winning and losing. And you know, sometimes we get involved in conversations, and it's those conversations that are like always having to have the last word. There's a Five of Swords, but let's find out. The gift is the High Priestess, so very much still in Scorpio retrograde in Mercury, which is that mind reorganizing, reflecting. The gift is the Death card, which means being in the process is some sort of gift that you're in. We'll find out what in a minute. Four of Pentacles in your relationships. This is other people's energy. The Four of Pentacles doesn't have to be a negative card. I mean, it's clearly got an idea of someone keeping their feelings quite close to their chest. Look at the image, it tells the story. But it's about solidity and security as well, because it's a number 4. Oh, the High Priestess is underneath the Three of Swords. Leo, but then you get the Knight of Cups. You're not the only person to get a reading like this. The Knight of Cups will obviously be things moving forward. Mercury's going direct, and it looks like there's news coming your way. That's the outcome. So anything more about the Knight of Cups, please? Is with the Six of Wands, which is the victory, success after struggle. All the fives are cards of change. Most people don't like the fives because a lot of people don't like change, and you've clearly got some change going on or some sort of processing, because the Death card is the challenge. The season that we're in, as I was really, it's funny, you're the only sign I've actually spoke to about after Scorpio comes the arrow of Sag. But this is a clear reading of an example of that's what's going on. So behind you is the fives, which obviously there's some sort of change going on here. Be careful of the Five of Swords when you're not in the best place, because this is about words that wound each other. And sometimes we use words that wound each other when we are not in the best place personally ourselves. Okay, Leo, so I mean, I had a classic Five of Swords situation yesterday. I don't know why. Two people were stressed and the words just came out. That's what the Five of Swords can be like. So be mindful of your words, because the High Priestess with the Three of Swords would seem to me that there's some sort of inner process going on here. The Three of Swords is a belief system. It's a swords card, which are very, very much stuck in the heart. Some of you might feel quite separate from someone that you love, by the way. So the separation might be distance with these cards, because the High Priestess is very, very much about being in our own depth. Sometimes it can be a card about being in what's that word? Being in silence, so being on retreat, feeling a little bit disconnected with that Three of Swords from someone that you love here. Anyhow, let me find out more. Tell me why the Death card is a challenge. So the Death card is obviously Scorpio. It's about being in the shadows. True spirituality is also about being in the shadows, guys, okay? Digging, releasing, letting go. But it is a challenge here. So maybe some of you don't want to be in this process. You want to be in your Leo energy. So you want to be in the sunshine. And astrologically, I don't know anyone who's in the sunshine at the moment, Leo, to tell you the truth. Astrologically, things are... we're in quite a profound and quite a tough period astrologically, and it's not going to go away. It's going to get lighter the end of the month, and that's very, very clear for you. But it looks like you're in some sort of inner change process here, and it's very much involving, by the looks of it, some sort of relationship dynamic. Some of you might even feel torn between two people with that Three of Swords, but I tend to find the Three of Swords can be a card about feeling separate. So distance from someone that you want to be with would be a classic example of the Three of Swords. And sometimes that's just where we're at. Now, why is your relationship house the Four of Pentacles? Who's been the Four of Pentacles here? Because either someone's not revealing the heart, and that's why you're feeling like this, Leo. That's a classic example of someone's not being open with you, which means that's what's putting you into this little bit of a dark night. Because a dark night of the soul happens when the life that we've been living has outgrown itself, but the new one has not came through yet. So very often it shows up with cards like the Hanging Man, the Nine of Swords, even the Six of Swords to a certain extent. But it seems to me that there's a new life waiting to happen here. And it's not quite been birthed yet. And that is what's causing this issue. Why is Four of Pentacles Leo's relationships? So it could be someone not revealing what's going on, or they could be very, very focused on the foundations, the fours. The fours are very, very important cards, because obviously to grow sometimes you need this firm foundation. But sometimes people can be so overly focused on it that that it keeps you feeling very, very cut off and very separate from them. So what's this Four of Pentacles about? One card, Hierophant. So again, both very earth cards. This is the Taurus card. It's about tradition. It's about all about the roots, foundations. Maybe someone's been unbudging, being very, because the Hierophant I find is a very fixed sign, can be very, very bullheaded. But look, I think I need to put more energy into your outcome, and I am not one of these people who actually sometimes I can be very, put a positive spin on things, but guys, I am well in the Death card right now, so I am very much aware of what's the Scorpio season. So the Knight of Cups with the Six of Wands is some sort of news and victory coming through. So again, natural zodiac, we're in the Scorpio. We feel that things aren't moving because of Scorpio, Mercury retrograde, and then I think it goes forward the end of November. And this is a classic example of a breakthrough and success after being in angst, being in the Five of Wands, head and heart going in separate directions. Some sort of breakthrough happens. I don't know if this is going to help you or not, Leo, but I'm guessing that's what the milk and honey is. That's where you're going towards. And as I said, the hardest part of the breakthrough is the period before it, because sometimes that feeling of, will this cycle ever end? Will the breakthrough ever come? So sometimes it's not about the situations we find ourselves in, but the belief is, will I ever get the breakthrough? Will light ever come at the end of a tunnel? And you're clearly going to light at the end of a tunnel. And sometimes, if it helps, Leo, I am well in your reading at the moment. Very, very similar energy. So all you can do is be in it. And begin to visualize and see the light at the end of a tunnel, because it's clearly coming. Because you've got 3 cards that say that the news is coming, the success is coming, the victory is coming. I'd say for all signs, that's pretty much the readings they're getting. Most people's struggle seems to be coming through the relationship dynamics, by the way, because it's Scorpio, and Scorpio rules the 8th house, which rules deep connections, sexuality. Because if someone's holding back and been very bullheaded, and it automatically will put you in this period. It's almost like saying you're moving into expansion, but you're in a process of getting there. And there'll be some person that relates to this, might only be one person. Hang in there. Honestly, in all my private readings, everyone's getting it. Everyone's very much in this season. Sometimes it's about honouring the cycle and honouring being in the Death card that brings the biggest breakthrough, guys, okay? So lots of love to you, and I'm not sure. I'll be back for December readings, and I'll have to take one step at a time. Because that's the way that you handle. I need to honour the processes I'm in. Okay, lots of love, Leo. Bye.